Spring training. As a kid, this felt too good to be true. The idea that you could just hang out in Florida or Arizona watching 2 to 3 ball games a day, hanging out in a laid-back baseball atmosphere where guys were more likely to stop and hang out with fans and sign autographs. As a kid who loved baseball, who eventually grew up into an adult who still loves baseball, that just seemed incredible. But I never got the chance to go. These days, I'm more likely to hunt down overpriced, quirky snacks at a ballpark rather than autographs, and I'm not a kid anymore, but I do have a kid, which made me realize I could just take him to go to spring training and we could make a thing of it. So, me and Kai are making our way to Arizona. Well, actually, we're already in Arizona because we just crossed into Yuma here for a little pit stop. But we're making our way to the Phoenix area for some Cactus League games. That's baseball spring training. You may already know I am a huge baseball fan, and I always wanted to go to spring training, especially when I lived in San Diego. Like, I knew a lot of people who went as like a spring break trip and stuff, and it always seemed like a blast. Gonna see a bunch of teams I don't normally see play in stadiums they don't normally play in during the regular season, just all around the Phoenix area, and Kai's gonna get to go to his first ball games, so it's really gonna be fun. First unique experience is the parking here is, like, I don't even know where to go. We're at some public recreation facility that I think doesn't usually see this much interest throughout the year, but tonight it does. Our first game would be in Surprise, Arizona, at Surprise Stadium, and I'm not gonna lie, I picked this game in particular because this place's name is Surprise. Alright, you can bring one, alright? Yeah. You good? Yeah. Alright. Surprise is the spring training home for the Kansas City Royals and Texas Rangers, and we were here to see the Royals play the Cubs. Alright, first match of the week, we got Royals Cubs. Two teams that I'm not heavily invested in. Kind of like both, very mildly. I'll say I do like Bobby Witt Jr. quite a good deal. He's like one of my favorite non-Phillies right now, just because I like his style of play. Really well-rounded shortstop. I think he's going to be one of the top players in the league for the long haul, I don't know if any of them are going to be playing today because it's spring training, but we'll see. Oh, man, we're not in the stadium yet, and sounds like something exciting's happening. Who's that guy?
Me.
Now, the thing about spring training is, for the most part, you're watching the third, fourth, maybe even the ninth string of guys on the team, for the most part. There are exceptions. Bobby Witt started for the Royals, and he's one of the game's top 5 players. But yeah, expect to see a lot of names you've never heard of before, even if you're a pretty big baseball fan. A lot of teams these days don't even bring out their superstars on road games to minimize the injury risk, unless it's perhaps really close to the season and these guys just really need to get ramped up. All right, end of game one. Well, not the end, but let's be real. This game kind of ended by like the third inning. The Cubs AAA squad, pretty much, beat the Royals like 11-1. I think other than Pete Crow Armstrong, I didn't recognize a single name on the Cubs. And the Royals seem to have all the regulars. They had Colt Raggins on the mound, who's like one of the best pitchers, but you know, it's what makes it spring training. On to game two tomorrow, we're seeing I was gonna say Oakland, the homeless A's, and the Dodgers. Well, that was fun. Now, I could keep going to ball games all day, but my companion is 3, and considering these are his first pro games, doing more than one might be a bit much. So, we decided to look for something else to do during the day. We booked ourselves a slime session in Glendale. Want to squeeze with your other hand? Still some more. There's a lot in there, huh? Here we had the chance to play with glue, beads, and other materials, all to make our own butter slime. Thing yellow.
I did it.
You did it? Can you stretch it out? Look at this guy.
I want to do that.
Okay, hold it up. Here, pick up the end here. Pick up the other end and then hold it up as high as you can.
It's a snake.
Oh yeah.
It also has a tail.
Is this which part's the head?
A tail.
That's the tail?
Yeah. I see it.
Where are they?
There.
Get it. 2. All right, new day, new game. We got the A's and Dodgers going up in Mesa at Hohokam Stadium. And this is about as different as two teams can be. The Dodgers, they put money into their ball club, and it appears to pay off. Not only are they the defending champions, but they've got a stacked team. Unfortunately, the only real superstar on their squad that we got to see play, though, was Mookie Betts. The others were enjoying some time off. Well, that's still fun. I was a bit surprised that on a team as stacked as the Dodgers, they still had a good number of guys who I'd never heard of before. Just goes to show you, baseball teams run deep. On the flip side, they were playing the Athletics, the formerly Oakland Athletics, who are playing without a home for several years because they don't want to acknowledge Sacramento and are kind of sticking it to every city they come across. It's frustrating that people who have the ability to do something as fun and as awesome as owning a major league team are gonna just become super stingy and make that team terrible and screw over its own fans. Anyway, being at the game itself though, that was nice. More ballpark snacks, some time out in the sun. Plus, we were so close, we had a perfect view of whatever dugout hijinks were happening. All right, so the Dodgers are up 7-1, and it's the ninth inning is getting started, so we're headed out. I've never been a big fan of the idea of leaving the ballpark early, but when traffic's a thing and it's a 7-1 spring training blowout, you weigh the odds. Plus, we got another stop on this field trip. Well, with one last night in Arizona, we decided to treat ourselves to a fun dinner. We found this place, Hope's Fry Bread. In the past, I've done some content around the history of fry bread and why it's such a complicated dish. Its origins were during the its origins can be traced to the forced relocation of several native tribes by the US government. And they were provided with things like sugar and lard in the way of food. Things that were really unhealthy. It seems pretty symbolic of the indigenous experience, to have something wonderful and fun and delicious that represents making something out of the little you've been given. But at the same time, that's really bad for you physically, and that represents the way that people's health have been affected by those with power. Anyway, as far as this particular dinner goes, we had a great time. I got to chat with the people running this place for a little bit. They've got plenty of Diné Navajo artwork all around here up for sale, done by local artists from the community. Their fry bread burger was wonderful, and we treated ourselves to a dessert of fry bread s'mores. Our time in Arizona was short. We were here at a good time. Our time in Arizona was pretty short. We had a good time. I'm really glad we got to make this happen. And we've got a whole baseball season ahead of us.